Hey, I'm Paul Salomon with Elf Creek Games, designer of Honeybuzz. And what's going on here is spring has sprung in Sweetwater Grove, the bees are buzzing, and the bears are getting very hungry, and that puts the bees at risk. So this year the Queen has decided we're going to open a honey stand in the Woodland Market. That's our key to peace and prosperity. It's a 1 to 4 player midweight Euro strategy game with a lot of unique mechanisms. It's a worker bee placement game going on up here. You buy tiles that you connect together to expand your hive, forage for nectar, produce honey from that nectar, and then sell it to bears at the bear market and other beautiful woodland creatures for points. We play as the Queen's accountants. It's our job to manage our little section of the hive and try to produce as much as we can for her and compete for her good graces with various contests that are going on. The way a turn works is pretty simple. You take one of your Meeples and you buy a tile. To buy a tile, you just place one bee in the box and get these tiles. If there's already a bee there, then it would cost you a bee line, a stack, of one higher. So as these things get busier, things get a bit more expensive, and your colony only starts with one bee, so you'll need to get some later. Every tile has the brown marks on the edges and on the middle, the whites on the ends, and they'll connect along the yellow lines. So here's my little random starting hive. We have a bunch of configuration cards for that, and this could connect like that, or down here. But if I put it here, or if I put it here, or if I put it there, it'll make an empty space. And that's really the key of the game. That's where we're going to end up storing our nectar. And two important things happen. When I make an empty cell like that, all the surrounding action symbols will trigger. So I'm trying to build to make that happen, make my turns efficient. And also the shape that I've made here determines what style of nectar I can store. So this one with all brown surrounding is wildflower. But if I had put this one over here perhaps with the two browns there, that's a cherry blossom style of honey. So you have to build carefully to make sure that you can build holes that you can store nectar for. As you look out at the flower fields over here, we have cherry blossom, acacia, rosemary, and wildflower. And part of the game will be foraging for those nectars. We have 3 modes of play. One of them is face up and has tactical movement. This one is the one that I like, the memory and deduction version. When you forage, you'll go looking for something. And even though I looked in a cherry blossom, I found acacia. Only 3 of these are cherry blossom, and there's 1 of each of the others. So remembering what's still out there can be really beneficial to you in the game. For example, if it's your turn and you look for a cherry blossom and find something you can't keep, I know that that's not cherry blossom, and it helps me deduce where other things might be. But you don't just fail when you miss, you get a little pollen, and that can be sold as well in the bear market. As you sell things, you can sell to 1 column as many as you want. So if I have 5 pollen, I'll get 30 points, and then the prices drop. Part of the reason it's a bear market. When 4 of these are at the bottom, or 2 of these stacks of order cards are gone, the game's going to end. That's most of it. At the end of the game, you assess a couple of Queen's Contest cards that vary the game. You might be collecting all 4 types of nectar or trying to get the most nectar and most order cards. A lot of variability in the game. Takes about an hour to play, and it's deeply satisfying and fun. Art by Ann Heideseek is incredible, and Elf Creek has done an amazing job with the components. This is the color test for our honey, and it's a squishy material that you'll have these translucent squishy materials, but they'll actually be in custom shapes that match all the iconography. The deluxe edition has these flocked fuzzy meeples for some of the foraging modes, and a lot of other good stuff. Just funded on Kickstarter. We're in late pledges now. You can still sign up and get all the Kickstarter goodies. There's a honeypot expansion that we threw in for free, so hopefully you can find that and back it.
Again, this is Boardgame Brody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stick around and check out some other board game reviews to see what you might want to get to the table.